Welcome back to Spiteful Lovers in a Perfect World. And in the last part, we dealt with the detective in the trial, and we got this guy on the stand. So let's just get into the cross-examination. I think he told me something to that effect before. Is that really okay though, letting a child wander around like that? Miss Ophelia said it was fine. Mr. Whedon thought it was a good idea too. Well, of course he did. Regardless, you're certain you didn't see anyone else in all the time you were with her? Yeah. That's not bad, is it? Was I supposed to? Well, it is bad for our case, but I don't feel like telling you that. As long as you tell the truth, it's fine. We just want to know what exactly happened. That would be the easiest. Yeah, that's it. They hold the syringes that are supposed to be given to the patients. Miss Ophelia told me that. You say you were there when she brought them out, but were you present when Ophelia was putting the syringes in the bags in the first place? No, she did that on her own. Seems like those medicines are kept in a storage room that only doctors and nurses have the key for. So I wasn't allowed to come inside with her. She filled the syringes herself, but her prints aren't on them. She didn't have to touch them. The machine does it all for her. That's what she told me. Oh, I see. Regardless. I suppose it's sensible to keep a dangerous chemical like a death serum in the lock and key. But this means Ophelia was alone as she filled the syringes with the serums? Or does it? Who knows? Can you be more specific? What stopped her? I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Huh? Or your fault? What do you mean? Should I press him further on this? I know he's under a lot of pressure right now. I reckon I should, but what happens is don't say. It's okay, I forgive you. Really? But you don't even know what I did. Whatever it was, it probably wasn't that bad. Besides, you're just a kid. You're barely even a person yet. Maybe you're much more of a person than any of us here. I don't know. Okay. Alright, we will see. What happens when we press him? What did you do, Ollie? I knocked something over that Miss Ophelia was carrying. But I didn't mean to. What did you knock over? I don't know, but it made a loud shattering sound. A glass beaker maybe? Yeah, that was it. Mr. Ophelia grabbed some dustpans so we could sweep them up with both hands. Because of that, she wasn't able to bring the bags into the rooms they were supposed to go in. It was a big mistake, so I had to at least help clean up with her. I'm sorry. So... swept dust. No, sorry. Swept glass with dustpans. Because of that, she wasn't able to bring the bags into the room they were supposed to go into. Don't worry about it. There was only a small delay, right? Come to think of it, I think I saw a biohazard bin in that hallway. That must be where they disposed of the shards, and why we never saw them. I don't know if that's gonna end up going relevant. Was that the same time that we saw you in his room that day? Yeah, I recognized you two from then, but I didn't say anything. That wasn't the first time I visited him that day, though. Earlier, a lot more of my classmates had come to see him, and I was there too. I ended up sticking around so Miss Ophelia could teach me about the job. And you took the opportunity to see Mr. Whedon one last time. Yeah, that's right. Is it possible anything could have happened when you were away from Ophelia? No, I don't think so. Because... Did you happen to get a glimpse of what they look like? They look like you guys. Well, that was direct. One of them had a flashy yellow suit, and the other had a big scar on her face. That certainly sounds like us. It probably was, but I'm not sure. I didn't get a super good look. With that in mind, is it possible that it was actually two different people entirely? Please don't be foolish, Miss Lang. It is a fact that you and your co-counsel entered Mr. Whedon's room shortly after the witness. There was no opportunity in that time for two doppelgangers to have snuck in instead. Disregarding entirely the fact that the very idea of doppelgangers should never be considered. That's probably true. I was just spitballing. Surely you don't intend to accuse these two anonymous women of the crime? Of course not. I certainly didn't kill that guy. I didn't do anything either. Obviously.
Hold it.
Where did you go after that was done? I just went back to the waiting room since I didn't have anything else to do. I told Miss Ophelia that's where I was gonna go, so she knew. I guess she wasn't surprised by your absence then. Did you leave just after Ophelia finished putting the bags where they needed to go? No, before. Just when she was putting the first bag in Mr. Whedon's room. She carried both bags at the same time though. It's not like either of them were ever unattended. So still an opportunity for anyone else to meddle. Even with Ophelia being alone for a time. Was there really no time for a third party to enter the scene? Guess that's all Ollie has to say. But in the interest of getting all the possible dialogue, I do want to see what happens at the end of that co-counsel conversation. Ollie, why did Justice only have to be so bad for us? It's definitely not on purpose. He wouldn't make things worse for Ophelia if he had a choice. I know, I'm more frustrated at the world, I think. Anyway, what do you think we should do here? Well, Ollie's definitely not lying right now. But it almost seems like he's being vague on purpose. You mean he's hiding something? Seems that way, though I have no idea what he would have to hide. I guess we should probably try to get that information out of him first, then. Good idea. Just keep on pressing. Ooh, we're already at the point where it has to reload for every save. And I guess that's all it only has to say. Is that really it? Is there nothing I can do to poke any holes in this testimony? You appear lost in thought, Miss Lang. She struggles to come up with a rebuttal, Your Honor. That's all. It's as I said at the outset. My case is flawless. Flawless is a strong word, kiddo. Nothing can truly be perfect. Then enlighten me to its flaws. Yeah, about that. Sophie, don't tell me you're giving up already. Of course not. I just can't see a way forward. Don't be ridiculous. Didn't you hear everything Ollie said just now? There's gotta be an opening somewhere there. I just know it. Okay, where? Well, I don't exactly know, but surely there's something we can deduce. Thanks for trying. Wait, deduce? Well, Miss Lang, we're all waiting. If you have evidence to present, don't keep us waiting. If I had evidence to present, I would have done so a long time ago. Huh! It seems the defense has nothing to say. That was faster than I expected. I can't present evidence, because we won't need evidence where we're going, we don't need evidence. Mix Factora, you say there was absolutely no opportunity for a third party to meddle. I do! I say that's wrong. And all I have to do is prove it. To prove it is make one simple deduction. I see. So that's your strategy. Am I the only one out of the loop here? What do you mean, deduction? I surmise you're brushed up on Mrs. Lang's courtroom antics, Your Honor. You see, she has a very specific method she likes to use when she's backed into a corner. So, you know what I intend to do? Interesting. Indeed, I have a particular method of deduction I'm quite fond of. What I call a logic line deduction. What the heck is a logic line? Why not I just show you? Mix Factora, with these logic lines, I will prove the hole in your argument. This is the super cool game mechanic of this game. I have no idea what it's going to be though. But apparently this was used in CodingAnt the case, Sideline Futures as well. So I play that one in the future. Holly gave us a lot of information in his testimony. If I want to show an opportunity for someone else to have meddled, my best bet is to look there. I'm not sure which part specifically will be relevant, so I'll just try to remember everything. I knocked something over that Miss Ophelia was carrying, but I didn't mean to. What did you knock over? I don't know, but it made a loud shattering sound. A glass beaker maybe? Yeah, that was it. Miss Ophelia grabbed some dustpans so we could sweep them up with both hands. Because of that, she wasn't able to bring the bags into the rooms they were supposed to go in. It was a big mistake, so I had to at least help clean them up with her. I'm sorry. That's right, Ollie shattered a glass beaker while he was with Ophelia. What else happened? Let's see. Now, you say you weren't there when she brought them out, but were you present when Ophelia was putting the syringes in the bags in the first place? No, she did that on her own. It seems like those medicines are kept in the storage room only doctors and nurses have the key for, so I wasn't allowed to come inside with her. Ophelia was alone as she entered the storage room. And that's not all. Wasn't there also that other thing? A little while later, I ended up visiting Mr. Whedon in his room. I think I saw two ladies enter the hallway out of the corner of my eye just before I did. Did you happen to get a glimpse of what they look like? They look like you guys. Well, that was direct. One of them had a flashy yellow suit and the other had a big scar on her face. That certainly sounds like us. It probably was, but I'm not sure. I didn't get a super good look. That in mind, is it possible it was actually two different people entirely? Two important things there. Ollie visited Mr. Whedon, leaving Ophelia alone. And when he did, two people that looked like me and Palace showed up. Of course, realistically, that was probably just us, but what if it wasn't? Okay, I think that's everything we got out of Ollie. Now the important part, figuring out how to connect it to our mysterious third party. There's no one else with a scar on their face in the court record, is there? So, who knows? I don't think more than one of them will be relevant, but I'm absolutely sure that one of these things gave the true killer an opportunity to switch the serums. The question I need to answer is, what allowed for this opportunity? In other words, what caused it? This might be a good time to bust out my old friend, the causality line. But first, do I need a refresher on how logic lines work? Remind me, please. Right, I suppose it has been a while. On the touch screen will be these 4 facts pulled from my memory. These are the nodes, between which I will draw the edges or lines. To draw a logic line, I should tap on both nodes I want to draw said line between. And then choose the type of line I would like it to be. And with 3 kinds, but the only one that matters right now is the causality line. For the causality line in particular, order matters. I could say the rain caused me to stay inside, but I can't say me staying inside caused the rain. First tap the cause, then tap the effect. Did I get all that? Or do I need to hear it again? Yeah, I understand. I'm all set, let's do this. Let's do this thing then, draw a logic line. So I think this is the opportunity, and this is the beaker. See, the beaker gave an opportunity, right?
Eureka!
Ollie, can you confirm something for me? Okay, so that is the right one, but I do want to see what happens if we get this wrong.
Eureka!
This shows that Mixfactora's argument is trash. Huh, you know I'm a bit baffled. In my notes I wrote that your logic line strategy usually yields some mild results. I suppose I may as well scratch out that usually for rarely. But what? I was wrong. Perhaps you should just stick to the basics, Miss Line. I appreciate the odd unconventional strategy in the courtroom, but certain things just work best. I guess logic line is just on the new hip new thing anymore. But we did actually get it right. So let's continue. Holly, can you confirm something for me? Okay. When you dropped that beaker, you and Ophelia had to clean up the resulting shards, yes? And you used both hands to do it. That's what you said. How are you supposed to sweep with just one hand? I wonder if Ophelia's hands were occupied. Where did she put the bag she was holding? Not into the respective rooms. You said that only happened afterwards. So then, she just put them somewhere in the hallway? Or on a small desk, perhaps? So I remember her placing the bag. That's why I remember her placing the bags on the towards me in pallet. Yeah, on a little table. I remember. How curious. So she didn't have her eyes on the bags while sweeping the glass. Out of sight, out of mind. Wouldn't you agree, Mix Factorial? So that's your strategy. You're saying some unknown third party tampered with the syringes there. Huh? Is that what you're saying? Interesting maneuver, Miss Lang. You see this party is the one who made the holes in the syringes. They seem too intentional to be mere happenstance. Yes, I think that was the killer's doing. And then I have but one question for you. By what means did this killer make the holes in the syringes? I think with more syringes. Ironically, I believe those syringes were punctured by another syringe. They're visibly sharp enough to do the job, and extremely plentiful in a hospital like this. Huh! Is that really what you think happened? Before I get to refuting your argument in full, allow me to establish one thing first. First, I want to failure dialogue. You can make a hole with basically anything. This, maybe? If you can make a hole with basically anything, why are you bothering to argue it was specifically a third party that did it in the first place? Besides, that's not even factually accurate. Your own co-counsels turned against you. How tragic. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be the one to stand by you in this darkest hour. Guess that was my bad. If you wish to have a second chance, I will allow you one, but we'll just return to the present. The holes in those syringes were not made so purposefully. After all, we just heard from our witness here of a certain other sharp object. Oh, you're not seriously arguing that the glass cut into those syringes, are you? Those holes are way too small for big glass jars to have made. Who said they had to be big? Indeed, the shards the witness and the defendant swept up were likely large enough to be hard to miss. They were thrown to the nearby biohazard bin and disappeared, converted directly into energy. However, upon investigating the scene, it appears those two missed several much smaller shards. Small enough to conceivably have punctured those bags while flying off after the beaker shattered. Hold on. But if the syringes were only oxidized because of the beaker breaking, wasn't it just an accident? How could my client be at fault in that scenario? If that was all there was to it, then yes, she wouldn't be at fault. However, recall that your client is the one who filled both syringes with the death serum. And even besides that, it was her responsibility to make sure the serums remained contained. She was careless, and because of that, a man died. By no means is the defendant off the hook. Remember, they already knew about those glass shards and planned to use them in the argument all along. But that's only your theory. Where's the refutation? The defendant would not have seen the killer meddle with the syringes while she was cleaning the glass. This isn't something you can just hand wave away like it's nothing. Miss Lang, I'm sorry to have to do this to you, but... Miss Lawyer, you're wrong. You're lying. Ollie, what are you doing? Ollie, calm down. Let me handle this, okay? No, you meanie. Let me finish. Miss Lawyer, what you say isn't true because I saw. Wait, you saw something else? I mean... Hang on! This may prove interesting. I have my own problems with Miss Lang's theory. But, Ollie, what do you have to say? If you have more testimony for us, it's our duty to hear it. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. No opportunity. Yeah, I guess Mr. Ophelia and I weren't looking at the bags while we were sweeping up the glass. But that doesn't matter, because Mr. Ophelia checked the serums again after we finished sweeping. The immortality bag had a red liquid, and the death bag had a clear liquid like they should have. That means no one swapped or tampered with the syringes in a way that got mixed up. Miss Ophelia didn't touch the syringes though, and neither did I. We just looked at them. Hold on, witness. Are you saying that the serum in this syringe was at one point clear? That's red. That looks more like the one that was in the immortality bag. Perhaps you were not aware, Ollie. But the serums in both syringes were found to be red. What? Seriously? Wait, but then, how did it change colour? I don't understand. Neither do I, Ollie. Neither do I. But wait, if each of the liquids were a different colour, doesn't that contradict the prosecution's theory that they're both the death serum? Someone clearly hasn't examined the evidence closely enough. Recall that the time it takes for the death serum to oxidize varies wildly. Therefore, it is entirely possible that only one of the serums had finished oxidizing. Oxidizing? I guess Ollie didn't know that particular aspect of the serum's chemistry. I will admit, though, this doesn't exactly contradict the defense's theory as you may have hoped. Because the oxidizing could have still been in progress, everything Miss Lang said is still possible. It is? Oh. That said, it's not like it actively helps me either. Ollie, this could have been really dangerous for Ophelia, you know that? I know, but it's the truth. I couldn't just lie. Guess I shouldn't be too harsh on him for that. Well, that said, this is still new information. As such, the defense has a right to cross-examine. A right I intend to practice. Okay. It's examining time.
Hold it.
So there's our killer's opportunity right there, just as I had said. Please do not forget that I have my own choice words for that theory of yours. Oh? Please inform me of them. I'm all ears. Later! You are in the middle of You're in the middle of cross-examining the witness. It will be in poor form. So that's how it is. I should wrap up this testimony so I can hear what they have to say. But first, I may as well question Ollie a bit more. I'm sure his answers will be immediately relevant, but they could help me out elsewhere. Ollie, with regards to you and Ophelia cleaning up the glass, what did you use? How long did it take? Where did you dispose of those shards? There was a trash can right there in the hallway, a yellow one. He must be talking about the biohazard bin we saw. Is that what it's called? Anyway, yeah, it was really close, so that's what we used. Well, Miss Lang, is that important enough to add to the testimony? I don't think it is. What happens if we say yes? Yes, it's relevant, if you would, Ollie. Okay. We got rid of the glass in the nearby biohazard bin. That replaces the first statement. That's not a typical item I think of when I think biohazard. Wouldn't it make more sense to recycle it or something instead? Yeah, maybe, but there wasn't a recycling bin nearby, and we had to hurry up for the patients. Besides, that bin turns trash into energy. That's what Miss Ophelia said, so it's almost just as good. And that's what Pala said too. That's a funny word. Biohazard. Bye-bye, hazard. No wonder it's called that. He seems to be enjoying himself. Is this information good, or should I have something else about cleaning up the glass? I think we're alright for now. What if I say no? No, keep the statement as it is for now. Very well then. But we will press again here. How long did it take and what did you use? What did you use? What did you use for it? Surely you didn't just pick the shards up with your hands. No, we got some dustpans from the janitor's closet. It was actually surprisingly close to where we already were in the hallway. So it only took us like a minute to go get them. I see. Well, Miss Lang, is that important enough to add to the testimony? Yes, it's relevant. If you would, Ollie. Okay. We got 2 little dustpans from the janitor's closet so we could sweep the glass. This janitor's closet sounds like it could be a decent hiding place for the real killer. The witness clearly... I should say the witnesses clearly looked in there to grab the dust pit pans and found no such killer. But it could have been dark enough for them to have gone unnoticed. Right, Ollie? Not after we turn the light on. Oh, I guess I'll do it. Is this information good, or should I ask something else about cleaning up the glass? How long did it take? How long did it take you to clean everything up? Only about 5 minutes. I know because Miss Ophelia looked at her phone before and after and said that that's how long it took. So you have the reliability of an actual clock, it seems. Makes sense. It was only one beaker that made those shots, and you had 2 people. That's not looking so great for your case there, Miss Lime. Could anyone really do all the tampering they needed to in just 5 minutes? All this does is limit the scope of people who could have done it. If you were already in the hallway or one of the patient's rooms, you could definitely have had the time. 5 minutes isn't much time, but all I had to do was poke a couple holes. I suppose I'll accept that. On the slang, is this important enough to add to the testimony? Yes, that's relevant, if you would, Ollie. Okay. It really only took us 5 minutes to sweep everything up. Is that from start to finish? Yeah, but everything surrounding that was really quick too. The timing between the beaker shattering and us starting to clean up was maybe a minute. Same between us finishing and us looking into the bag. Oh, that is fast. So all in about 7 minutes. The statement itself isn't exactly present-worthy, but it could be worth keeping for any time-based contradictions. That said, is this good? Well, I'm pretty sure that means that it's good then. Why did you feel the need to do that? Nothing should have changed. And nothing did change. Also, it would seem. It was just to be careful. Apparently those serums could be pretty finicky. It's not something I knew Ophelia to do while I worked there, but I can believe she'd start doing it. Yeah, it's a good habit when you're dealing with substances as volatile as those two. Exactly, I used to do something similar. Yeah, so it's really not that weird. I think it's weird to be carrying them at the same time to begin with. By which you just mean the bags labelled with the words death and immortality, correct? On which the former was brought to Whedon's room, and the latter was brought to Theos's. That's what I mean. Indeed, those colours do match up with the original colours of their respective serums. So I suppose Ophelia wouldn't have noticed anything wrong with it. That said, I don't remember her telling me about this. Huh? In fairness, it's a trivial matter, so she may have forgotten. Or just not found it important. Probably. From what I can recall, Ophelia only told us when she checked the Whedon syringe far later. This one? No, probably this one, since she swapped the two after noticing it was red. Alright. Thanks for the refresher. That definitely appears to be true, yes, but that's not the only way the killer could have meddled. It is also possible for the killer to have taken the opportunity to poke holes in the syringes. What would that do? It would oxidize the serums and thus change their colour, but that isn't relevant right now. Miss Lang, our witness and the defendant were only occupied for mere moments. Do you think this killer of yours was really able to take advantage of such a minuscule opportunity? Or is it more likely that the glass we know shattered into some small pieces punctured those holes? Neither sounds particularly compelling to me, to be frank. Well, regardless, we know that exactly one of the serums oxidized by the time the witness saw the syringes. The moment the beaker shattered is the most reasonable time for this process to have started. So that's their theory, huh? It might be in my best interest to try and refute that, if I can, but how? I suppose that's why neither of your fingerprints are on it. That said, you looked at the syringes too? It was just looking. Miss Ophelia said I could. Recording the witness was accompanying the defendant to learn how to be a nurse. One vital part of that is learning about the death and immortality serums. Don't you agree? I suppose. Though something rubs me the wrong way about showing death serum to him when Mr. Whedon... Sophie, you thinking about something? Never mind. Don't worry about it. Is it just me, or does Ollie seem kind of confrontational about this? It's not just you, I get that impression too. But I don't know what reason he would have to be mad at us for helping Ophelia's case. That being said, it's not like this testimony poses any real threat to our case. At least I don't think it does. Yeah, he seems obsessed with the idea that a physical swap would be impossible, which is true. He doesn't seem to have realized a bit about the killer being able to oxidize the serums. He seems thrown off by the fact that the liquids in both syringes are the same colour. For the record, I'm thrown off about that too. Ophelia wouldn't be that careless, right? So, how do we approach this testimony? This was far more spontaneous than anything thus far. We can take advantage of that. If we press him, we might be able to uncover something this mixed factorial didn't account for. And we can use that information to help punch through another weak point in the testimony. It's like a pretty good plan. One set of good marks. Two sets of good marks. No one swapped or tampered with the syringes in any way that got them mixed up. So I think it's got to have something to do with one of these things. It took us 5 minutes. And we have the red liquid and the clear liquid. We already saw the time for oxidization. I don't think this is going to be a boat. We might as well see the failure argument. Ollie, I think you're lying. Lying? What reason would I have to lie? Are you telling me you really doubt this poor, defenseless child? Do you really think a face like that could be capable of deception? Yeah, Sophie, that's a low blow. Why is everyone against me today? It's the price you pay for doubting the witness without good reason. In addition to this penalty, of course. All this for one little kid. But, I want to see the failure dialogue for the previous testimony, which I forgot to chat. Ollie, you said something just now that makes absolutely no sense given the facts. I did? What did I say? Never mind, I changed my mind. I decided I actually don't want to say a single word against that face. It's too cute. Seriously? Don't underestimate the power of cuteness. For an example, just look at the girl next to me. Please refrain from flirting in the courtroom. Please also refrain from wasting my time with a useless objection. One of those is a fair point to raise, and it's not the first one. But anyway, now it's thinking time.
Hold it.
I'm struggling right now.
Hold it.
I think we already talked about this contradiction. The labels are sticked on. Yes, that's not relevant yet. What's this? All you said earlier, it takes 5 minutes to sweep all the glass up, correct? And before and after, we wasted almost no time at all. And the prosecution believes that the serum's oxidization began when the glass beaker shattered. Precisely! Can you think of a more reasonable time? And I wonder, are these two ideas even compatible? Well, you remember that it takes a minimum of 10 minutes for the death serum to oxidize. Excuse me? So you mean to say... What? So you mean to glitch out the whole world with your desk slam? Exactly. There was simply not enough time for either of the serums to oxidize. Therefore, they should have both been the same color. Wait, but that doesn't even make any sense. I know they were different. One was red, one was clear. I saw it. Really, I did. Exactly. I don't doubt you, Ollie. I trust your memory. What I do doubt is the series of events the prosecution put forth. Well, Mixed Factorum, do you still think those glass shards were the cause of those holes now? Interesting. A momentary lapse of judgment on my part. My apologies. No, I no longer believe the glasses were punctured the syringes. Thank you for opening my eyes to that fact, Miss Lang. You're welcome. I'm wondering if Sophie Lang is a descendant of Sheila Lang. That could be interesting. We already have a pain in here. I don't think anyone else has a surname that relates. No, I don't think anyone else has a surname that could be shared by anyone named Tony. Did I read that line? Unfortunately, I believe you may have just dug your own grave. Precisely when do you say the real killer you keep blabbering about tampered with the serums? Huh? Well, when Ollie and Ophelia were busy cleaning up the glass, of course. Oh. I see you now understand. You see, my original theory may have been wrong. But for me, there were always alternate times that would have worked. You do not have that luxury, Miss Lang. Your own argument disproves the very idea of anyone meddling during that time frame. Damn it, no. How could I have been so foolish? You insist that you can come up with an alternative time for the holes to have been made. But I have not seen you substantiate this. I will let the witness do that for me. Ollie, The defendant was carrying the serums on a tray alongside other instruments. What kinds? If I remember right, some bottles of medicine, some fancy machines, and other syringes. Why do you ask? These syringes were not, for the record, contained in the same white bags we're familiar with. Those bags are reserved for the death and immortality serums specifically. Sharp tools left alongside frail material waiting to be punctured. Accidents happen, Miss Lang. Damn, they fixed their theory so quickly. And here I am with no ground to stand on at all. Did this whole shattered glass business just amount to nothing? And even beyond that, Miss Lang, there are very basic issues with the idea of a meddling third party. For one, it is a claim you made without proof. It's completely unsubstantiated. No, that isn't true. I had a good reason for thinking there was someone else pulling the strings behind all this. I do have proof, I just hadn't shown it to you yet. This should be interesting. Go on. Here's my evidence that a third party met up with the serums. The 2 sets of glove marks on this one. I'm sure you've noticed the excess glove marks left on various pieces of evidence. It's the same on these bags as well, right? Ophelia's fingerprints and a set of glove marks. Both bags and both syringes. These were left for the real killer. It couldn't be anyone else. And where, may I ask, did this killer obtain these gloves? Keeping in mind that no relevant party brought their own gloves to the scene. They were searched. It's a simple question. That is simple. Where did the killer get the gloves used in the murder? Well, I know it's the glove dispenser, but I want to see some failure dialogue. Obviously, here. I believe we have established that the defense is off her rocker. I would have to agree. I don't know that you'd be able to find gloves in so strange a place, but you could definitely find a penalty. Well, glad that was found, but I'm still lost. Can I try again? Very well, I'll repeat the question. But first, we'll do the same thing again with the previous one. Miss Lang, I know you're very fond of this theory of yours, but I think you'll have to let it go. No, not my theory. I worked so hard on that. Don't worry, it's just a theory. A lame theory. I'm glad I did that one. I'm going to touch that theory. You practically slaughtered my child. Murderer. I think you'll find the only killer here is your client. Touche, X Factor. Wait, it's obvious. Do you even need to ask? There's a glove dispenser in every one of the patient's rooms. Precisely! Something readily available to anyone nearby, including your client. It's not entirely feasible that these glove marks simply came from your client. And her fingerprints are also on them, so this more than likely came from a third party. You misunderstand me! Did those not also come from your client? She was handling those bags for quite a while. Naturally, she would touch them multiple times. Perhaps once without gloves, and once with. Well, it's very possible that any and all glove marks just came from the defendant. What do you say? Is it this syringe again? I say, nuh-uh. I'm afraid one couldn't, Miss Lang. Surely you admit it would be odd for Ophelia to touch something twice unnecessarily. I'm afraid people are not perfect robots who always do what they intend with only one stroke. As evidenced by, well, you! She's perfect at other things, just not deduction, I guess. Please inform me what I'm perfect at. I'm desperate for praise. Imperfect people deserve an imperfect record. As such, please accept this penalty. Just perfect. You're saying about the gloves? Oh, yeah. What are we looking for? Exactly one set. Yeah, I guess the fact that maybe because she only handled this one once. I see, so that's it. I don't know if I'm ready to give up the whole broken glass idea yet. No one's saying there can't have been another opportunity to meddle afterwards. But first, I'm sure you all remember this syringe intended for the other patient, Mr. Brighton Whedon. What about it? That's just the thing. It was intended to be given to him, but it never was. A certain incident got in the way of that. I'm sure you know which one. As such, I feel you should never have touched it. And yet, there are glove marks on this as well. How so? She is supposed to be the source of said marks. Well... And don't see this from when she supposedly swapped the serums. I'll call you saying that was just a detective's pet theory. It sounds like you're arguing murder again. Those marks would be easily explained if she left them through intentional meddling. Or making the holes in those syringes, for instance. But I have a feeling that's not what either of us believe, is it? But there's a crucial difference between last time and this time. Because there was an opportunity for someone else to have touched the syringe much more easily. And that would be... Can't argue anything that would put Ophelia in jeopardy. This is true. As long as they won't push the murder argument, I have a lot of free reign. Oh, Mix Factora, your manslaughter charge may prove your undoing. Do I really need to spell it out for you? When the syringe was in Mr. Whedon's room, completely out of my client's sight. Mr. Whedon's room? Seriously? You actually think? But when I try, this just keeps getting worse. Oh, I'm sorry, but I have a duty to find the truth wherever it may lead. You cannot deny it's possible. The serum was almost unsupervised at the time. As such, we must call Mr. Whedon to the stand to see through this possibility. Yes, that specific syringe was unsupervised. What about the one in Thales' room? His room remained guarded by the defendant and a witness. Do you think anyone could have stuck in without them noticing? Perhaps while they were occupied sweeping up the glass? For an entire 5 minutes. I'm gonna be able to believe you could meddle with the serums on a desk in the hallway in that time. But if you need to sneak in and out of a room in that time as well, you couldn't. It's impossible. And don't try and claim the killer was already in Dr. Thales' room beforehand. They wouldn't be able to see when all the inmates were busy, and thus when they could escape. Furthermore, there's more. Recall that both serums are the death serum. If the culprit already went through the effort to change the Thales' serum to ensure it killed him, why would they bother oxidizing Mr. Whedon's syringe as well? That's just an assumption on your part based on their colours. You've yet to actually prove that both syringes contained the death serum. That's true. You've been stringing us along on the assumption that they do, but do they really? And how else do you explain to prove that? We simply do not have the technology to perform a detailed chemical analysis. Detective Van Cole should have told you this. They are both red, and both would have oxidized. That is enough! Actually, I'm also sure of that. It is true, Miss Lang's ramblings may amount to nothing. Hey! However, as your argument has yet to be proven beyond doubt, we have a duty to explore all other possibilities to see where they may lead. Thank you, Your Honor. I guess. Very well. Bailiff, search for this Whedon fellow, why don't you? Actually, there's no need. I figured the defense might pull something like this, so I came prepared. I already have Mr. Whedon in my custody. Oh, very well then. Please call him to the stand. As you command, Your Honor. There he is. So you really intend to question my brother? I don't really see any other way. If the killer meddled with the syringe in his room, surely he must have seen something, right? Yeah, I see what you're getting at. I can only hope you're right. Witness! State your name and occupation. Really? No. May I say some words to the defense counsel first? How long do you intend to stall us like this? Oh, I say it's fine, as long as it doesn't take too long. Very well then. You have precisely 1 minute. Thank you. Your kindness will not be forgotten. Paula, Sophie. Oh, what a joy it is to see you standing together at that bench. You look happier at each other's sides, somehow. Perhaps this is just me, but you appear to complete each other. Though maybe I'm being overly sentimental. Sophie, I don't think you're beating the lesbian allegations. What? Well, neither are you. Enough with the sappy stuff! You are here to testify. Apologies, I may have gotten a tad carried away there. My name is Bryden Whedon. I am, or was, a middle school humanities teacher. As of now, I merely await my time to visit the pearly gates. My sincerest apologies regarding your situation, Mr. Whedon. Rest assured, the one who allowed it to happen will be brought to justice. So I hear. Mr. Whedon, we called you here because we believe you may have witnessed something important. Specifically regarding the serum the defendant left in your hospital the day of the crime. Defense believes that. Don't put words in my mouth. Getting caught up on all these theories. Is that so? Well, I can certainly try to show what I know. No apologies if my testimony does not end up being particularly useful. That sounds like a bad sign. My death serum. Miss Ophelia brought my serum in as she was talking to my sister and the friend she was with. It was contained in a small white plastic bag that had the word death writ face up. As I was just about to finish chatting with Sophie, the nurse escorted her and my sister away. It was then that I took a short nap. Well, that was inconclusive. You can nap? Seriously? I know how that sounds, but I swear to you it's the truth. This was useless, as expected. It seems the witness was unable to back up your theory, Miss Lang. Not good, I was relying on him to say something I could use. I guess the killer could have done something while he was asleep, but that's not conclusive. I can't get out of the realm of possibility and into the realm of evidence fast and done for. Miss Lang, do understand if this testimony amounts to nothing, you're back to square one. I understand, Your Honor. Very good. With that said, you may proceed with the cross-examination. And this is actually a pretty good place to end, even though we're ending a bit early today. Just ending on the cross-examination, because we managed to finish up all of Ollie's in this episode, unless he might come back. Who knows? He's definitely, I still reckon he's hiding something more, so we might see him again. But I also reckon that Brighton was hiding something, and it seems like he's being honest. But then again, he could just be putting on an act. But perhaps he wasn't the true culprit behind this after all. Anyway, enough theorizing. It's time to end the episode here. So, see you in the next episode next week. Bye bye.